so
sharing
much.
us, helping us grow. We got it going on with you. You are our purpose. Our families out here that are homeless. Please share us. Talk about us. Talk about our mission. Learn what our mission is because we can't leave nobody behind. Thank you for tuning in and stay tuned in because we're coming right back with those solutions. Thank you so much.
Hi, and welcome back to Transitional Changes Mission podcast show. This is your host, Queen Summers.
With your host, King Summer.
And we was talking about unemployment versus employment. And if you're just coming in, now we're talking about the solution to unemployment versus employment. And I like to start off by saying it's time for everybody to get connected. We have the internet. The internet is here for us all. Connected means building strong, positive relationships with not just your loved ones and friends, but people who can provide you with the needed support and acceptance in not just good times, but bad times as well. And establish other important connections by volunteering or joining a faith or spiritual community like Transitional Changes Mission.
Yes, that is awesome to do with us because that's what we're here for. But in my solution, I feel what I left off at before we went to break, that is a huge part of what is the solution to this problem. Now, keep up with me on what I'm about to say is that racism needs action, discrimination, all that. We've been talking for hundreds of years now. It's time for action on that. On labor, we need to close the gap in communication.
What's that saying? They say, don't talk about each other, talk to each other.
Yes.
It's time to start talking to each other.
And with this topic being unemployment and employment, I was just saying it's like a unemployment versus employment. And we don't need the verses in there. We need to make it into all one.
Right.
Somehow, with some type of communication. I think President Joe Biden trying to pass a minimum wage increase.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans make sense on things of inflation, it's a handout. All kind of things do make sense, and I have both of my ears open. And I try to show consideration from both sides, taking in. Right. But I do have a choice. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm talking about on this solution. Recognize where you are with that because people make the change. And what I mean by people, not just 320,000. I'm talking about 8 billion. 8 billion, most in history have shown when it becomes global attention, it immediately changes.
That's right.
So that's why Transitional Changes Mission has that factor of trying to close the gap of communication. And we are a global podcast, nonprofit organization.
That's right. And remain hopeful. You can't change the past, but you can always look toward the future. And accepting and even anticipating change makes it easier to adapt and view new challenges with less anxiety. So you want to go back to work. So you don't want to go to work. Regardless of what it is, take care of yourself. Tend to your own needs and feelings. I'm going to say that again. Tend to your own needs and feelings. Participate in activities and hobbies that you enjoy. Include some physical activity in your daily routine. Get plenty of sleep. I know it's hard for everybody right now to try to get some shut-eye or a little nap in and everything's going on, but eat a healthy diet. Practice stress management and relaxation technique. And be proactive. Don't ignore your problem. Instead, figure out what needs to be done, make a plan, and take action. Although it can take time to recover from a major major setback, a traumatic event, or a loss, know that your situation can improve if you work at it one day at a time and one step at a time.
Yes, please, because you're seeing the scattered problems that was here before COVID-19 and the problems has in hand. And that's with workers blinking out of their mind, going to the place and shooting them up.
Yes.
That is out of this world, man. I can't believe we are in this world at this point. That is built up anger. That is a communication problem.
Right.
The co-workers, everybody in that plant need to figure out the communication problem with each other because they're supposed to be a team. And that's why I said as many shows to come off this show, because that is a whole nother topic of how a company says that we are hiring you and you are a part of the team. That's why I feel like some of the people get so angry and have to deal with different co-workers and all kind of stuff. But that is one great thing to say, Queen Summers, is find a release of anger somehow. Because we do not need to be putting harm to nobody behind something that's going to be here after you're gone. That is not the way to change things. It's cause pain and all kind of negative things falling down a bad hill. And the second thing that I said we could do, and I kind of mentioned that before, is that be aware. Be aware of the safety of going back to work.
Yes.
The person that is working, understand the situation. You've been here. You was here, you worked through it, you went back to work earlier, but COVID-19 is the blame for this.
Not another person.
Yes. It is the blame for the shutdown. It is the blame for your finance coming to a halt. Life has changed, and we're trying to figure out a way to find a path to come back to some type of normalcy. We got shows about that in the near future. But understand that the people that are unemployed and need that jerk going back to work, and they being cautious, the way that the media promoted this, man, it's a lot of fear. And that's why we ask people to share our show, because we are a positive energy. Sit back, relax, take this conversation, have it among your peers, talk about us, share us, because this is the footprint of starting a communication, closing that gap. And that's what I say is a way to solve these future problems. Understanding that co-worker that's at home, he might be fearing for his family going back to work, even though that's a whole nother topic there, Queen Summers. Non-vaccines and vaccine.
Right. So you see how the lines of division is beginning to be drawn. It's time for us all to sit back and look at our stand, where we are within ourselves. And that'll give you every answer that you need moving forward.
And have humanity for the next person, no matter what the situation is.
Yes.
I never could understand, if you're working, you get paid, you got an extra $1. If you see or feel inside you, this person is legitly hungry. I can't understand why I see a family queen and her princess is sleeping on the streets or in a shelter. And that's why we put everything into transitional changes about changing that situation. And that's why we had this podcast show. It's for you, it's built by you, and it's coming into your doorstep.
By us to you.
Yes.
Yes.
I truly, honestly feel that the way that we can get back through this is do what's best for you and your family. And support everybody. Understand, be awareness, take it in. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
And instead of looking at it like that's that man's problem, look at it like that's that man's choice. Because we all still have a choice with anything pertaining to us.
And people change. Not one person, not a group, but people. I got to tell you this story before we leave. It's not really funny, but I was like, how can this company do this to this person? And he probably volunteered, I'm assuming. We went to this company and tried to order a pizza. I'm not going to name the particular pizza company or nothing like that to spit bad negativity on them, but we was tripping on this right here, man. Just hear me out. We went to this pizza place. We tried to order pizza. I walked up. I seen a guy. He was in there making pizzas and everything. I walked up to the door. The door was locked. It had a note on it saying, due to staff, you had to do a call in to place your order. So I walked back to the car, told me and my wife, I said, well, we got to call it in. We called it in, but my wife was saying, there's only one person in there. I was like, yeah, it is. I couldn't figure that part out, but I was in the process of calling. I called, and they had it set up to a point to where they took the order. Listening to myself, I'm blessed to not made the payment over the phone after we made the order. And they told us 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Now, we sitting in the parking lot. We see cars pulling up on the side where like it was a drive-through. And I guess that's how you pick up your order after you made it over the phone. And these people coming from the house or whatever. But we just riding and we saw we were hungry. We stopped and bam. Tried to go in there get a pizza. They said, call. Okay, we sit in the parking lot. Sit there. 15 minutes go by. I walk up through the drive-through. The guy came up like he was like, man, like
a face full of sweat, like somebody just dumped a bucket of water on him.
Yes, he was like, man, I'm the only guy in here. I was before I even said what I was finna do, he said, I'm the only guy in here. I'm trying to help you. You done made the order, and I was like, yes, sir. My name is Summers, and I placed the order. He was like, okay, can you look at the machine? The receipt machine was going all the way down on the floor. It was just wrapped up like, I was like, whoa.
Like a big old snowball.
Just be patient with me and I get your pizza ready. And he was like, I don't know what to go through. I think the guy was just in there making pizzas. That's what it ended up looking like.
Yeah.
And I don't know how other people got their pizza, but
they got some kind of pizza. Yeah, they got a pizza. That's all I know. They might have not got the pizza they ordered, but they got something to eat.
Now, me and my wife were discussing. I'm sitting there trying to play both sides. I'm like, well, this guy probably came in or had an agreement, maybe an increase on his pay. Mm-hmm. Maybe like in that situation, I was saying $25, $30 for the way that they was going. I think it was on a Friday night too.
It was.
I said, well, maybe he's getting $25, $30 an hour. He's the only one. They know this. I said, but I don't know about staying there watching all those dishes after that. But I guess maybe something is going on. But my wife was like, well, this is inhumane.
And it was, because there was no way. I mean, my heart went out to the young man. Because you could really look in the window and see that he was doing his job to the fullest of his potential and also being shortchanged at the same time. Mm-hmm. Because he probably wasn't making $15 or $13 an hour.
And that's what we gotta have this discussion keep continuing. It's going to be a part 2 to this. But I want to leave off saying, be safe. Do what's best for your family. Do what's best for all of us. Because we all are family.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. That's what it's going to trickle down to.
That's right.
So we need your support just by right now sharing this show to many people as you can. Continue to look forward to many exciting interviews, shows, topics. Man,
I got some solo shows coming in too.
Yes. So we want to say thank you again.
Thank you.
Continue to listen to us all the way through season 2 and forevermore. Transition to Changes will be here for you, and we thank you for supporting us, gaining strength to move forward with our mission.
Yes.
And we are going to tackle this mission together. So thank you for listening to Transition to Changes Mission Podcast Show.
This is your host, Queen Summers.
And your host, King Summers.
Have a great night.
All right. Thank you.